Hey, so I've been working with some developmental integrated reading and writing students and some 1301 students. And over again, I find out that students are unfamiliar with how to actually set up a page and format a page for MLA. So I want to do this video. First, I'm going to show you in Google, and then I'm going to show you in Word. So I've opened up a new Google Doc. Before I ever start typing, I want to make sure that my formatting is correct. So my screen is blank, and I'm going to go right up here to the up and down arrows and click that drop down box. I noticed that the auto format is set for 1.15 spaces, but MLA requires double space. So I'm going to click double space. I'm going to go back up to that same option, and I'm going to make sure that it says add space before and add space after. This is really important when you're typing an academic essay. For a business essay, you would want the remove space before and remove space after. Because in business essays, you're not going to tab over when you start a new paragraph. You're simply going to do a hard return, and you want that extra spacing between paragraphs. However, for academic essays, you want it to say add space before and add space after. Now that I've done that, I'm going to make sure that I come over to Insert, and I'm going to scroll down until I see page numbers. I will tell you the most common mistake that my students make is they add a header or a footer. Please do not add a header or a footer. There should be nothing in your header that appears on every page. If you think you can add in a page number on your header, then you're simply going to have page one on every page, and it's going to look ridiculous. Please add in a page number. When you select page numbers, you're going to notice you have multiple options. The first option, where it's indicating you have page one, page two, is typically the option you want, especially for MLA. Now, if you're working with APA formatting, you're going to want option two because you're going to have a cover page with an abstract, and then you're going to start with page one. That's specifically for APA. But for MLA, you want to select the first option. Notice automatically it gives me a page number at the top right of my page, and my cursor is blinking behind the page number. I'm going to use my arrow key functions and put the cursor in front, and I'm going to type my last name and hit the space bar. I'm only putting in my last name. Again, if you are formatting this for APA, it's going to be slightly different. You're going to put in an abbreviated title. And it's been a while since I've done APA, so you'll definitely want to double check with your instructor or double check Purdue OWL. But I believe it's just the abbreviated title and perhaps your last name with that page number, maybe only that abbreviated title. For MLA, however, that's what we're focusing on. It is simply your last name with your page number. Double click to get out of that, and now notice your cursor is blinking in the main body of your page. And here's where you're going to put your heading. I repeat, heading, not a header, because that is also a common mistake my students make. They're typically put in that information in a header, and then it appears at the first page or the top of every page, and that's incorrect for MLA formatting. So at the top of that first page only, you're going to put in your name, first and last. You're going to put in your professor's name. You're going to put in the course name. It helps your instructors if you can put in the section number. Most likely, they teach multiple sections of that same course, so help him or her out with putting in that section number. If you know the title of the assignment, you're going to put the assignment title, and then you're going to put in the date. MLA is very specific, no abbreviations, and they want the day first, followed by the month, and followed by the year. Some of your instructors are going to be more rigid about this than others, but when you want to follow MLA formatting, this is how your heading should look. Your name, professor name, course name and section number, assignment title if you know it, and then the day, month, year. One of the second most common mistakes my students make, other than putting their page numbers in a header, is abbreviating the day, month, year. And that to me is just sloppy and it's not paying attention to formatting. So if you want to impress your professors, please make sure you're paying attention to formatting. You're going to hit the hard return one time and one time only, and you're going to put the title of your assignment. This is not the title that your instructor gives. This is the title that you are giving your assignment. And then you want to put your cursor in front of it. And I went up to the very top and I chose the center alignment. I hit hard return. Notice that hard return keeps my cursor in the center. I'm going to go back up to the alignments and click left align. Now my cursor is blinking at the very beginning of that line. Your default setting should be where your tabs are set for 5 spaces in and where your margins are set for 1 inch all around. If you want to check your margins, then you're going to check here under File, Page Setup, Portrait, and your margins should be default set to 1 inch. MLA does not allow for smaller use of margins, so you want to make sure you are sticking within that 1 inch margins all the way around. To start typing an academic essay according to MLA formatting, you want to indent those 5 spaces and begin typing your essay. And you have now set your formatting for your paper on a Google Doc. Word is slightly different, so you want to make sure that you are following MLA formatting on Word. Let me minimize that screen and open a blank Word document. And I will apologize, it takes me a minute to shift my mindset from Google to Word, but it's not very different. Again, you have the arrows here at the top that show you your line and paragraph spacing. So I'm going to click those arrows before I ever start typing anything and make sure that it is at the double spaced. I'm still going to go back up to it and I'm going to click line and spacing options. And here where it says before and after, I want to make sure those are at 0. So when you're in the Google Doc and I told you to make sure it said add spacing, this is that same function. It just looks slightly different on Microsoft Word. So you want to make sure it says 0. Again, if you are typing a business or a technical piece of writing and not academic, this will change and modify for that purpose that you are focusing on. But for academic writing and MLA formatting, it should be set at 0. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to insert a page number. So I go up to the top where my menu bar says insert, and I look over for page number and I insert page number. It gives me an option. I want to make sure it's at the top of the page, right alignment, not left. And I want to make sure that I have selected, I do want the page number to show on the first page. Again, if you are writing for APA, you will not want the page number on your first page because that first page is going to be your cover sheet. But for MLA, you do want your number on the first page. And so now notice my page number is at the first page. And Word is picky. I have to double click a couple times to get my cursor up there, but I want to put my last name in front of the page number. And I simply double click to get out of it. And I'm going to follow the same steps. I'm going to put my full name. And then I'm going to put my professor's name. Same thing, the course name and section number, the assignment title, if I know it, and then the day, month, year. And then I'm going to put the title, make sure my cursor is at the front, and come in and select Center Justify in Word. Sometimes you have to select it and highlight it. And then when I hard return, I simply come back up and select Left Justify. Microsoft Word is just as easy to use when you're accustomed to it, but it is different than Google. So if you're transitioning between the two, it might take you a moment. Again, MLA formatting does not allow for you to start typing at the very beginning of the line, so you want to make sure you have tabbed over and begin typing your essay. And you have now formatted your page for MLA.